Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. Okay, so I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet because we're on Instagram again. Editors, talking about editors, what they offer. Right, okay, so editors will offer you things like line editing, copy editing, critiques. Line editing and copy editing, two different things. Touch on similar things but two different things. So let's quickly talk about the first things first. Line editing, very similar to critiquing. So you might ask for a critique or a line edit. The line edit is literally it. They go through line by line. They check your story arc, if sentences are flowing, too much unnecessary waffling dialogue that we think is great and does nothing for the story. So your editor might then say you might want to cut back on that. I didn't understand this. You need to put more emphasis or clarity around this. One thing I will say on line editing and critiques, don't get offended by the critiques that come back. If they don't understand something, you need to make clarity, because if they don't understand it, a reader won't understand it. So don't think, oh my god, it's so simple, you should have got that. Duh. Just figure out how to make clarity around it. So your line editing, that's that. It's like a critique. Then you move on to your copy editing. Now the copy editing is editing as we know it. So checking your grammar's correct, there's no typos, you've got apostrophes in the right place and exclamation marks, etc, etc. So they're the two differences. They are similar. Line and copy is similar. They do pick up on similar things, but one is really a critique and the other is the editing side of things. The way I do it, the best way to do it, if you can, I get a critique, two critiques sometimes. So this time with my manuscript, I've just got my first critique back. I'm going through it, about halfway through. The next time I'll probably ask for a line edit, and then I'll go on to a full copy edit, so a full edit. After that, I personally, if you're in a publishing house, the last person to hold your manuscript will be the copy editor before it goes to press. Okay, so if you're self-published author, which I am, and I'm presuming you are if you're watching this, your editor and you are very close to this manuscript. So you might not see all of the typos by the time it gets to the copy editing, because you've read your story hundreds of times, and your your editor and the copy editor will have read it a minimum of 3 times by now, so you might not catch all the typos. So I find a proofreader, and proofreaders are a little bit cheaper, and all they do is go through and just check blaringly obvious grammar and your typos. So that's my rule of thumb on what to do with your manuscript. Line edit or critique, I do 2 rounds of critiques, or I do a critique and a line edit. Then it goes to the copy edit, and then it's ready. Then it goes to a proofreader, and then I'm ready to go. Then I'm ready to take my manuscript and get it onto a forum. How do I find a good editor was the next thing I wanted to touch on. Recommendation. You know authors, ask your author friends if you can have if they've got a good editor and they would recommend them. I'm happy to recommend mine, so feel free to message me. Other than that, it's trial and error. If that all sounds a bit expensive, you can just, if you don't want to critique your story and you're happy with the flow and you don't want to change anything, you can just go with a full edit. I would advise against it. I mean, I've done that in my early days, and to be quite honest, I ended up pulling it off the market and revising it and critiquing it and tightening the story anyway. So don't rush. You put a lot of time and effort into your manuscript. Give it its dues, slow and steady, like the tortoise. And that's it really. Thank you so much for all of your suggestions. Keep them coming, and I'll put some more posts up and some more advice. The next thing I'll talk to you about is, once you've got that all back and your manuscript is ready to go to market, how you get from manuscript to ebook to hard book, how you get onto the platform. So book designers, not their cover design, their book layout, what they do, and then how to get it onto Amazon and the other outlets to sell. So again, thank you very much, and I'll see you soon, guys. Bye.